Hi guys, that's like instantly crinkly. Welcome back to Fragments of a Simple Life, where every video I make is super simple. Let's do some Dollar Tree crafts for Easter. My son actually has a friend coming over, so I thought I would do some Dollar Tree crafts so I can put up some Easter decorations because I don't have any up, at least not really, except for the little egg that we did together. I did put that up as decoration on my kitchen counter. So I thought we could do this little guy first. Let me move that. This is my little foam craft that I bought. If I hold it up, you can see right there what he's gonna look like, or what he should look like when we're done. He is 19 pieces in this little bag, and then it's just a plain white bunny, and you have to put everything on. I think it's stickers. I just thought about that. I'm pretty sure it's stickers, so hopefully they all stick, because I did not bring any glue or tape with me. So, oops. And then, depending on how long it takes us to do that, I thought we could color one of these. I have the 4 markers that it comes with. Looks like a green of some sort, blue, purple, and pink. But you guys know me, if you know me by now. I'm picky, so I always have markers on standby because I feel like they never give you like enough choices with this. Sorry for the crinkles. That package is loud. I'm going to take everything out of this package and then we'll get started on this little bunny rabbit. Okay, it does look like they are stickered on the back. We have eyeglasses. We have his pink belly. I'm using this as reference in case you're wondering. We have his like nose mouth area and the egg that goes in his hand. We have his carrot. We have 1 eyeball. Hopefully there's 2. We have his striped, diagonal striped bow, which kind of does not look like that one, but whatever. We have his 2 sneakers. Hold on here. There we go. They go like this. That's cute. Oh, there's his other eyeball. Loop. There we go. His ears, which are like polka dotted inside. And then this is a little tiny, I don't know if you guys can even see that. It's his whiskers. Okay, so I think for a frame of reference, I'll put his glasses on first, and then I'll put his eyes inside. So these pop out. I feel like you should be able to use these for something, but I don't know what. So his glasses are gonna go kind of up like that. Then we'll put his eyes inside after we get the glasses on. Oh, it's been a long week, you guys. I don't know if you have children, but I know we've all been a child before. Hold on, I'm trying to get these straight. That's good enough. My daughter's been having best friend drama that will probably be, I'm gonna do the eyeballs now, the end of her friendship with her best friend. It's never as cute, huh? Or does it go like this? No, the sparkly white part goes up. I'm trying to see if it matters. I think that's right, huh? Okay. No, my daughter's best friend has become friends with someone who, we'll just say, was disrespectful towards my daughter, like unnecessarily disrespectful, like shockingly disrespectful, last school year. And I know this because I literally heard this particular kid run her mouth on FaceTime on the phone and say all kinds of stuff and get into my daughter's business that had nothing to do with her because they weren't friends. Well, my daughter's best friend this past year has decided to become best friends, BFFs, new BFFs, with that girl. The girl that disrespected my daughter. My daughter is not the kind of kid that's going to tell other people who they can and cannot hang out with. So my daughter has kept her mouth shut. I'm going to do the ears now. My daughter's kept her mouth shut and watched her best friend become best friends with someone that was very mean to her last school year. My daughter even went up to this girl that was mean to her last year and basically said, hey, let's squash it because you're friends with my best friend now and I don't want it to be awkward. No one told my daughter to do that. I didn't tell her to do that. No one gave her that advice. My daughter was brave and strong and went and squashed the issue with this girl all by herself. So my daughter's best friend became best friends with someone that was mean to my daughter. And my daughter still took it upon herself to be the brave one and squash the beef at school. While her best friend, my daughter's best friend, continued to be friends with this girl. And my daughter just has been tolerating it. Please hold for the trash man. Sorry about that, you guys. It's trash day in my neighborhood. So anyways, my daughter hasn't been hanging out with her best friend as much, even though she lives very close. But I think it goes here, right? Yeah. But like every weekend, my daughter's best friend is hanging out with this other girl at her house around the corner from our house. And again, my daughter just has been taking it, tolerating it, accepting it, and having her feelings hurt about it, but keeping it to herself. So a week ago, my daughter finally gets invited for the first time ever to walk home with her best friend and this other girl that was mean to my daughter in the past. And my daughter texts me and she's like, because I'm already at the school to give her, oh, by the way, I give her and her best friend a ride to school every day. So my daughter was like, I know you're already here to pick us up, but can I walk home with them? It's the first time I ever let my daughter walk home because I usually get her. So I was like, okay, fine, go ahead. These girls ignored my daughter basically for the car ride home. They like weren't really including her in conversation. The whole walk home, they were like, you're my best friend. You're like a sister to me, blah, blah. Like they were literally like arm in arm chatting with each other while my daughter like walked behind them. Then when they got to my daughter's best friend's house, which is around the corner from my house, them talking to each other like that just continued. And they left my daughter feeling like she doesn't understand why they even asked her to walk home with them. My daughter comes home that day in tears. And I told my daughter, maybe it's time for you. That looks so cute. I told my daughter, maybe it's time for you to tell your best friend that your feelings are hurt and that you felt left out today. You know, you don't have to like go into the past and all the different ways she's hurt your feelings over the past year. Just stick to, you know, what happened today after your the walk home part. And my daughter said, she's not going to care, Mom, meaning her best friend. She's not going to care. She'll make excuses or she'll defend herself. I don't think she's going to care at all. And I said, what a horrible thing to think. Like, what kind of best friend wouldn't care? And my daughter's like, I'm going to try. Like, what do I have to lose? She already doesn't barely hang out with me. I'm just going to get, you know, my feelings out there. And I said, good for you. Be brave. Because at least you'll know the answer one way or the other. Because a friend would care that you feel left out or that you're feeling sad or alone, a best friend would totally care. You know, say sorry, squash it, you know, try to make it right and move on. Well, my daughter's best friend was like, so my daughter, well, let me go back. My daughter, she did a good job with what she wrote. She wasn't petty about it. She said, you know, that her feelings were hurt and that she felt left out, and that hearing her and this other girl say, like, you're my best friend, you're my best friend, you're my sister, you're my sister, like, and having that conversation go on. It was like 3 hours of my daughter having to listen to them talk like that, from the walking home until my daughter came home from her best friend's house. Well, those aren't really even, but it's good enough. It looks like a bunny, right? Let's do the egg. So my daughter expressed herself in a good way, a positive way, a matter-of-fact kind of way, not petty at all. And my daughter's best friend writes her back, and she tells her that her feelings are valid, but, and then she explains to validate her own feelings and her own thoughts instead of validating my daughter. So it's like she said, your feelings are valid, but then she's like, you know, however, what about me? And hold on one second for the trash can, or trash man, I should say. There it goes. She told my daughter, like, this other girl is my best friend too. She's like a sister to me. We both have a lot going on in our home lives, so we understand each other. All my friends mean something different to me. Like, you're my friend too. But so is this girl. And just, it was really about my daughter's best friend making, like, justifying her behavior. It would have been really easy to squash, you know, just say, my bad, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Look how cute. The shoes are different colors, but what do you expect from Dollar Tree? Look how cute, you guys. Isn't that cute? He has glasses. Anyways, I'm gonna pause really quick. I'm gonna get the stuff out to color because this video is not quite long enough. And then I will be back to continue the story. Okay, I have my little wood craft, a little bunny with 2 eggs sitting in a basket with some flowers. I'm going to start with the 4 markers it comes with, like I always do, and then we'll kind of like move on from there and pick different colors to finish it while I finish my story. So anyways, so I wouldn't say that my daughter's best friend validated my daughter's feelings. It was more like, your feelings are valid, and then let me tell you what I think, or like defend myself. And for me as an adult, I kind of feel like it wasn't a situation where you needed to get defensive, but that's kind of what she did. This is a little girl, my daughter's best friend, that refers to herself as the therapist of the group. So, she literally calls herself that. She calls herself the therapist of the group, or the mom of the group. So she likes being in a superior position. And to me, the text messages that she sent back to my daughter when my daughter was just expressing her feelings and not really, really not trying to fight, instead of just saying sorry, which would have taken like 10 seconds, she was like, your feelings are valid. And then she's like, but, and then she just said a whole bunch of things, and it was like a word salad. It was really just her like repeating herself in multiple text messages to validate her like own behavior. And I just thought that was like such a weird choice. And it's like I told my daughter, like, I actually agree with some of the things she wrote. Like, yes, your friendships will be different from one person to another, and each person will mean something differently to you and like the role they play in your life. especially when you get older. That's actually very, very true. But in this situation, you don't need to like go into too much detail like that. Like, my daughter said she felt left out, and all you had to do was acknowledge her feelings and say, I'm sorry for making you feel left out. That was not my intention. You're my best friend and I love you. Like, let's hang out this weekend. You could have kept it as simple as that. But her best friend decided to almost act like she was doing a therapy session with my kid. That's what her response kind of was. And it seemed insincere. Like a simple apology would have been sincere. Trying to like break it down for my daughter like she's dumb is not sincere. And it's not an apology. It was my daughter's best friend's way of justifying her behavior towards my kid, not just in that moment, but like over the past year. You know, and my daughter didn't even get into the fact that her best friend became best friends with someone that really hurt my daughter last year. That part just like went over my daughter's best friend's head, like she didn't do anything wrong when she kind of did. So that felt mean to me. And I told my daughter, because my daughter let me read what they were saying back and forth to each other. Then I told my kid, like, my advice is to drop it, so it doesn't blow up bigger. She knows that your feelings are hurt, and she said that this other girl is her best friend, it's her sister. Like, she literally said, like, my daughter's best friend said in the text messages that this other little girl is going to be her, quote, family for life, because they have so much in common, basically. It was just weird. I was like, that's a weird way to say sorry. And I felt bad because I was encouraging my daughter to express herself to her best friend. And my daughter's prediction that her best friend would kind of like make excuses and maybe not care at all, and definitely not just like apologize and like drop it or whatever, that something would happen. My daughter was right and I was wrong. So I feel a lot of like mom guilt about that. So my daughter took my advice and she dropped it. And the girls left each other alone like over the weekend. And then on Monday, it was time to go back to school. And I take my daughter's best friend to school. So we go to her house to pick her up. She gets in the car, and I'm not a little kid. So I'm going to acknowledge her because I am an adult. So I acknowledged her by just saying, good morning, like I always do. She closes the car door in the back seat. She ignores me, okay? She pulls out like a folder, like for drawing, and she starts like doodling or like sketching or writing something in the backseat of the car, and she ignores me and she ignores my daughter. Okay? No one's paying me to do this. Like, I'm being nice, giving you a ride to school. I've been doing it all year. So I was like, I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, this kid, my daughter's best friend. Like, maybe she just didn't hear me. But I'm looking in my mirror and I can see her in the back seat. And her face, her facial expression, while she's sitting back there, is nothing short of like vicious. Like she would attack us if she could. It was crazy, the look on her face. It was like someone was forcing her to be in my car. Like, I don't have to give you a ride, honey. So we get to the school, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to say goodbye to both of them, and I'm going to be very deliberate about it because I really want to know if this kid is ignoring me, or maybe she just didn't hear me when I said good morning. So when they get out of the car, the girls, I say, goodbye, girls. I hope you both have a good day. I'll see you both after school. Have a nice day. And I made sure to say girls plural, to say the word both, to make it abundantly clear. I'm talking to both of you. Like, you should have already squashed this beef. My daughter should be able to express herself without, it being a big deal. Like, you should be able to say to your best friend, my feelings are hurt, and for it to not turn into a fight. Like, this is crazy. Like, this little girl, what is that saying? She made a mountain out of a molehill. Like, she took something that, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a deal it was, should have been like a 3, and she turned it into a 9 all by herself because she's a drama queen. So she gets out of the car, and I'm saying goodbye to both of them, have a good day to both of them, yada yada. You guys, this little 12-year-old girl closed the door and ignored me again. Ignored me again. I was like, oh, once, maybe you didn't hear me. Twice, that was on purpose. So then, this blue is bothering me. It doesn't look as good. So then, my daughter is looking at me because she got out of the car second. My daughter looks at me and her eyes are wide, like, help me, mom. And I felt so bad because it was like I was dropping off my daughter to have a bad day. You know what I mean, you guys? Like like things are probably going to be rough for my kid, and I'm dropping her off and I can't do anything about it. So I told my daughter I love you, and I told her be strong, be brave. Don't let anyone get you down. Because now I'm realizing that something that should have been done and over with, that could have been squashed, is now becoming a huge ordeal. And this little girl that's supposed to be my daughter's friend is now treating my daughter and me as an adult. Like we did something to her. And I was shocked. So I drive away, and I'm devastated for my kid, just devastated. Because she's been friends with this girl for many years. And as I'm driving away, I look out my window to the left because I can see the school, the campus that they're walking up to. And this girl, my daughter's quote unquote best friend, is like 5 steps ahead of my daughter while my daughter walks behind her with like her head down, feeling defeated. I later found out that my suspicions were correct. She walked ahead of my daughter all the way up to the school, and once they got inside, this girl that's supposed to be my daughter's best friend went straight to the other girl that's at the center of this whole situation, and went and hung out with her until the bell rang for school to begin. So my assumption was extremely accurate, and I was not wrong. I contacted this girl's mother after that, and I told her step by step what her daughter did during the car ride, including walking ahead of my daughter and leaving her behind when my daughter didn't do anything. This woman, the mother, found the behavior that I was describing to be surprising, which was bizarre to me because her daughter acts like she's an adult all the time. So for her to have an attitude or be disrespectful towards an adult shouldn't have been that surprising. But she found it to be surprising for whatever the reason. And she's like, I'll talk to my daughter and I'll have her get in contact with you. This is very surprising. And she said, I think something else is going on with my kid. I actually don't think that this is about the situation with your daughter, my kid. And I was like, well, whatever you say. But I knew it was about my daughter. And it, by the way, it is about my daughter. So I told this woman, I said, I'm not going to take your daughter to or from school starting this afternoon. Like, I'm not going to pick her up because that was an extraordinarily awkward car ride. And I, as an adult, was disrespected for no reason. I was surprised and saddened by your daughter's behavior. And I'm not going to give someone a ride that does that until the situation is resolved between our daughters. I won't be giving your kid a ride to school. It's too awkward. I owe it to my daughter to give her a peaceful place to begin and end her day before she goes to school for almost 8 hours. Middle school is hard enough without that being your car ride to and from school, dealing with someone that's treating you like that and treating your parent like that. So the mother of this girl understood and said that she would have her contact me once her child, like, I guess, cools off. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I would make my daughter apologize same day if she treated an adult like that. I would make my daughter probably walk to school as her freaking punishment. Like, my kid would be grounded from having company over. Like, some major steps would be taking place if I got word that my daughter acted like that to an adult. And P.S., my kids would never act like that to an adult. That's crazy. So, anyways, it's been a week now, and no one has done anything about it. I have not received an apology from this little girl for her behavior towards an adult. My daughter has not received an apology. And every single day at school, this little girl has completely and totally ignored my daughter like my daughter doesn't exist, you guys. Isn't that crazy? That's how she handled the situation. Cause she's so mature and well-rounded according to her mother. So, that's what we're dealing with. I'm gonna get some different colors. It's been a long week, and it's one of those situations where I'm gonna do the bright yellow for it in the middle of the flowers. Yeah, it's one of those situations where you can't fight your kids' battles for them. And that's obviously understandable. I can give my daughter advice. I can help her grow her backbone to be strong and brave, but I can't fight her battles for her. Now, what I did not expect is for that little girl to bring the battle to me, to my actual literal car while I'm giving her a ride, and to disrespect the crap out of me when I'm 3 decades older than her. And I have never, ever been anything but nice to this girl. I have never yelled at her. I've never even said be quiet to her. Like literally. I'm gonna try the super pale pink for the inside of the belly and the inside of the ears. Yeah, I've never been rude to her. I've never been disrespectful to her. I've always listened to her. If she vents about family issues or issues with her with her dad or whatever, I've always been a friendly ear. I've always laughed and joked with her. I've never ever been disrespectful to her, yelled at her, called her a name. I'm an adult. You know what I mean? It's I don't get it. My kids would never dare. They would never ever dare. And if my kids were dumb enough to treat a adult disrespectfully the way that this little girl treated me, I would make my kids apologize, like I said, same day. The fact that I have not heard a single word from them is so strange to me. I don't understand how you even do that. I'm gonna make the flowers orange. I don't know why, I just feel like it. Feels like that's the spring color that's missing. So it's sad. It's really been a sad week for my kid. It's shocking. I've never seen someone take something small and turn it into such a big deal. And I've never seen anyone take somebody else's hurt feelings and make them about them. Like, I know they're only 12, but 12 is not 5. You know what I mean? Like, use your big kid words. Say words. Like what bothered you so much about my daughter saying my feelings are hurt and I've been feeling kind of left out? What bothered you so much that you held on to your anger for days, and then the next time you see my kid, you're ignoring her and disrespecting me in my car while I'm doing you and your family a favor by giving you a ride every single day to and from school all year long for free? I just don't. I can't wrap my head around it. But like my husband and I were talking last night, like this is probably the end of their friendship. I don't picture them coming back from this, like, because once your eyes are all the way open about somebody, it's very difficult to like go back in time and close your eyes about how you've been treated by them. You know, like that's not a rewind button that usually works. Sometimes bunnies are yellowish, so I'm gonna do this color. It looks like the color of butter, and I'm gonna do it for the bunny. I don't know how it's gonna look, but I'm gonna try. Oh, it looks yellow. Okay, I think that's cute. It's like a creamy yellow, if that makes sense. It really is like the color of butter. But anyways, you guys, thank you for listening to my story. Please sound off in the comments below if you have any advice as a parent, or if you have been 12 recently. It's been 30 years for me since I was 12, so I've never, the like about face, the way that she flipped the script so quickly, this girl, to make it about her. But I just never seen anything about like it. But I'm proud of my daughter because I feel like every single day this week she's been like picking herself back up, and she's gotten a little stronger and a little braver, a little stronger, a little braver every single day after this, since this has happened. And the way that my daughter has handled it, I'm like in awe of her. It's been a beautiful thing to see. I definitely lost friends over time, but this kind of drama where friends kind of like fall by the wayside and they become friends with other people and you become friends with other people, like that's something that didn't really happen to me until high school. So my daughter is going through something at 12 that I didn't really experience until I was like 15, 16. So, but kids are different these days, I guess. Not everything is a personal affrontment. That would probably be my advice to people. Because if someone says something that you did hurt my feelings, it's not the same as saying you are a bad person. And that's how I feel like my daughter's friend took it. My daughter said, hey, my feelings have kind of been hurt lately and here's why. And her best friend reacted like, how dare you call me a bad person? And my daughter and myself were both like, whoa, 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 whoa. What just happened? but this kid has kind of screwed herself because I don't think I want her in my car or in my daughter's life, because I have a responsibility at the end of the day to protect my child. And what kind of lesson would I be setting for my kid if I let someone disrespect me and then just like come back into my life? And that includes a child, you know? I don't know. I just can't believe a whole week has gone by and the parent has not stepped in and told this kid, you need to apologize, you need to act right, you need to get it together. I would just be so embarrassed. I would make my kid immediately say sorry. This could have gone in like 100 different ways that would have solved the problem. But like I said, this child decided to pour gasoline on a fire instead of putting it out. That's literally what she did. It's like the little argument was a small fire. She could have chosen a can of water to put it out, but instead she grabbed a can of gas and made it worse on purpose. Like, what are you doing, you know? Insane. Insane. And like I told my daughter, I'm always going to tell you, I'm going to use this brown for the basket. I told my daughter, I'm always going to tell you if I think, oh, what if I did like different colors? Sorry. Sorry, guys. Oh, I'll just do one color. Maybe. Let's see. What if I did both these browns? Let's try it. We'll try. I told my daughter, I said, I'm always going to tell you if I think you're in the wrong, because that's my job as a parent too. And this time, you're not. So keep your head high. If you were in the wrong, I would tell you. I would warn you, you know? But I don't think you are. Being a parent is a difficult job. Definitely is a difficult job. That bunny is a weird color, huh? I don't know. I was thinking of it like not like a bunny that's alive, but a bunny that's like a stuffed animal. Right? Maybe? I don't know. This color is lighter a little bit. I don't know if it's showing up on camera as lighter. Did I tell you guys that my mother-in-law bought a house, a tiny house? Oh yeah, it looks lighter. Okay. I think I did. She's gonna come in April for Easter, which is right around my birthday. So that's gonna be crazy. Let's do this whole diamond in a lighter color. We were going to take them to Knott's, my mother-in-law and her husband, but we think they're going to be too exhausted from traveling and getting settled into their new tiny house. It's going to be like a vacation house to them, and then they're going to like rent it out when they're not here in California, because they don't live in California. This one's more like a gray brown and the other one's more like a red brown, but they are coming out kind of the same. It's okay. I should have grabbed my pastels, but those markers, they always kind of bleed with this kind of project, so that's why I didn't grab them. Now the basket looks like it's made out of chocolate. Okay, let's see. Maybe I'll do dark, dark, then light in the middle. How about that? There's no rhyme or reason to the pattern. Let's be real. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just gonna put it on my bookshelf so I have a little Easter decor. I was looking through my towels, like my kitchen towels. I have to look again in my linen cabinet, but I was like, wait, how do I have no spring towels? No Easter towels? Like, that cannot be right. Because I usually put like a decorative towel in my kids' bathroom, because my kids' bathroom is the guest bathroom. And I usually put a decorative towel like hanging on my stove, like the handle of my stove. Yes, I'm one of those people. But I can't find it. I was like, what is happening? Okay. I think I'll make these last two light, and then I'll make these outside edges all dark. And maybe this one dark too? Oh, maybe. We'll see. I feel like it doesn't matter. I'll probably do another one of these with crayon, like I did a while back ago. But anyways, I'm saying all that to say that I'm gonna try to keep going with the videos in April, but man, I have a lot going on in April. A lot. Okay. I'll do this one dark, like that. And then I think I'll do this one dark. I'm calling it dark, it just is redder, not dark. Like that. And I'll do this right here, and this right here, dark. Like that. And then I'm going to do this dark up here. I changed my mind if you couldn't tell. And I'll do this one dark right here by the flower. Like that. And then I will do this light. It really does look like a chocolate Easter basket. I'm kind of loving it. Okay, that looks pretty cute. You can tell there's like variation, right? I think I'll use this color brown for the whole trim, and then you use this color for the handle. Yes, why not? Mostly out of pure laziness. Boop. I like this color more, I think. than the dark color, or the reddish brown, I should say. Pretty. Okay, then with the red brown, I'll do the handle. So the handle will be a little bit darker. I'm not going to do his eyes or his teeth, obviously. His teeth should stay white. Speaking of kids and best friends, I have to get prepared for my son to have a sleepover with his best friend. His best friend used to go to the same school and live like right around the corner, and they moved a couple cities over so they don't see each other as much. So my son is very excited. They were like talking on the phone, and they made like a step-by-step plan of all the things that they're gonna do and eat, and so now I have to get ready. I did find some Minecraft sugar cookies that, you know, the kind that you just like break apart and throw in the oven and bake, and they have the little like green creeper face on them. I think it's Pillsbury that makes them. I was like, oh, those will work. I'll bake those, and then I'll just put some chicken nuggets in the air fryer because both the boys like those, and they can camp out on the floor in my son's room. So I pulled out like the blow up camping mattresses and stuff. So the kids are getting older, so you don't have to do too much. Oops, I got a little outside the lines there. It's okay. Oh my gosh, look how cute, you guys. We did it. We're done. What do we think? I love it. And like I said, I have another one. They come in a 2-pack. So I think before Easter, like obviously like maybe next week or so, I'll do this one, but maybe like in crayon or colored pencil or Sharpie or something different, just to see how it turns out. But isn't that adorable? Look at these two completely different crafts from Dollar Tree. I love Dollar Tree. Really, really cute. Thank you guys for listening to me vent about my daughter and being a parent. It's hard. But I appreciate you guys listening. If you have any good advice, or if you just find it relatable because you had a friend like that, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Anything to cheer my kid up would be greatly appreciated. And thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more from me, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm sorry if it kind of like got dark and light. It's a daytime video, and the sun went away and came back and went away like 5 times while we were making this video. But I kind of like the natural lighting when I'm coloring, so I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.